Hello everybody, good evening and welcome to the United Stand. This is your latest Manchester United transfer news. He's back after 24 hours of cricket, drink and London. I'm back in the studio to talk to you about the latest Manchester United news. And I tell you what, maybe I should go away more often because we actually did get a here we go. We got a here we go, and I think we're going to get a few more very soon. Onka, welcome to the Members Club. Thank you very much for joining. So, yes, I want to talk about Lisandro Martinez first. Obviously, many of you may have seen it this morning that Manchester United have put a bid in of £38 million. Very close now to, in fact, a little bit of quick maths. What's £38 million in euros? Somebody in the chat, go and do some homework. But the reality is, Ajax are pushing out for €50 million. Arsenal are still in the race. But effectively, Lisandro Martinez is putting a transfer request into Ajax. He's told them he doesn't want to wait another season not playing in the Premier League, i.e. at Manchester United with Erik ten Hag. And this has been widely reported by a lot of people now. It may upset Ajax. It doesn't necessarily mean that he'll come to Manchester United because ultimately it comes down to the player. But he has made it crystal clear, as has Anthony, that their desire is to come and play in the Premier League at Manchester United. Doesn't mean Arsenal can't win the race, doesn't mean he won't stay at Ajax, but the player wants to come, and obviously Ten Hag is a big pull on this for Lisandro Martinez. The fact that we're getting widespread reports, and I know Adam spoke about it this morning, about Manchester United putting offers in. €43 million is £38 million. It's €7 million off the €50 million that Ajax want, which is about another... They basically want about £42 million, which is £4 million on top of what we've paid. I've got no doubt that Man United can work this out with add-ons, etc. And I think Ajax may... Look, I completely understand the situation for Ajax. They've lost a lot of players. They've lost their manager. They don't want to keep losing players. But also, I don't think Ajax are going to lose their heads that they are a club that always will sell their talent, ultimately wants their talent to go on and do well elsewhere. But ultimately as well has to get the best deal for them. So I do believe that this deal will happen. I was holding out for Timber. There's massive disappointment with... I can tell you this for a fact. There's massive disappointment within Manchester United that they didn't get that Timber deal. But like many of you have said, if Timber doesn't want to come and won't force the move from Ajax, then he doesn't want to come. You got to move on. And there is disappointment because he is the player that Erik ten Hag wanted, and basically what Erik ten Hag said to Manchester United is, I want Timber, we should get Timber. This was said in the middle of May. We didn't get Timber, and he's now saying go and get Lisandro Martinez. Because basically what Erik ten Hag wants is he wants a centre-back who can play for Manchester United like they play for Ajax, because that's what he wants. And he needs one of those players, whether it's Timber or Lisandro Martinez, to come into Manchester United and work with our centre-backs and teach them basically how to play the way that ten Hag wants them to. Hi Mark, do you think we'll get a here we go about the Frenkie de Jong deal, says Henry? We will do, Henry, but I just don't know when we'll get it. I'm gutted to hear we are priced out of Anthony. He's the player I was looking forward to the most this window. Are we not getting an attacker now, says Carl? We have been linked to Gabriel Veron, who's a Palmeiras striker who've been linked to before. I mean, I don't know much about him, but there is a story coming out about him today, which we'll talk about a little bit in a more. Hi Mark, how are you? Is the de Jong deal in trouble, says Logan? No, so look, I've not been live since yesterday morning. A lot has happened. A lot of beer has been drunk. And I think that Ronaldo leaving... let me have a quick look at this. I really don't think that Ronaldo's put a transfer request in, has he? Let's have a look. Cristiano Ronaldo wanting to leave in the same afternoon. He's heard about number 14. Okay. I can't... Where is it coming from that Cristiano Ronaldo wants to leave? Because I can't... If this is breaking... Okay, so it's from Duncan Castles, who works with Times. Okay, this is breaking news. Let's have a look. I'm just going to have a look. So, according to close friends, Ronaldo affection and respect for Manchester United support remains as strong as ever. In addition to pursuing a transfer on sporting grounds, there are personal reasons for leaving after a difficult period for his family. Ronaldo believes he has 3 or 4 years left at the highest level of the game and would like to spend them at a club where he is capable of adding to his team and individual achievements. He no longer views his future to be at Manchester United. Ronaldo was asked to be allowed to leave Manchester United should they receive a satisfactory offer. His decision is driven by a desire to play in the Champions League. So this is all coming from Duncan Castles, who is the He's not the manager. Duncan Castles is not the manager. Duncan Castles is a journalist who's been very quiet, actually. He used to talk quite a lot about Manchester United. He's been very quiet this summer, and he's now come out with one of the biggest stories. Do I believe this? It's the right sort of time that Ronaldo makes his mind up on things. I've said it time and time again. Time and time again, we've said this, that Cristiano Ronaldo does not think about his future until the end of the season, and that normally is when Manchester United is normally the end of June. So yeah, it is interesting. The thing is, if you've been watching this channel for any length of time, you'll know that I've been saying that if we don't get Champions League football, I can't imagine Cristiano Ronaldo playing in the Europa League. And I think there will be a real pain in Cristiano Ronaldo's heart that he's facing a season of not playing in the Champions League. He's missed the Champions League. He cannot add goals to his tally if he's not playing in it. It's a wasted season for him not to be in the Champions League. And it was always going to be how big of an issue that was for him to want to stay or not. The big travesty as a Manchester United fan, if Ronaldo leaves, is that he's the only player in that dressing room that I can relate to. I like De Gea, I like some other players, but Ronaldo really represents the Manchester United fans, where he is obsessed with winning, he knows where the standards should be, and he calls out those who don't have those standards. Well, Cristiano Ronaldo, if he leaves, who wins? Maguire, Rashford, and everybody else who let their standards drop last year, they get hold of that dressing room again. I think keeping Ronaldo in that dressing room, I know Cristiano probably doesn't want to be here because he wants to play in the Champions League, but as a United fan, it's so clear and so important that we do keep Ronaldo at Manchester United, because we need that in the dressing room. The worst thing ever for Erik ten Hag is to lose Ronaldo and have that dressing room back in the control of the people who were trying to fight with Ronaldo last year. People who've been proven not to have the right mentality. Ronaldo's got the right mentality. I think United need to act swiftly here. I actually think that this is a deal that cannot happen. Like, I know people will say, well, if he wants to leave, let him leave. For the first time, I'm going to say don't let him leave. The club, he's got a year left on his contract. I know he's one of the greatest players, but we need him. We need him to stay. Give him the captaincy. But you know what? I'm thinking about this, and I'm like, from a fan's perspective, we need him to stay. But somebody just said there, well, if we haven't, I'm really disappointed we haven't got the money for Anthony. If our spend this summer is De Jong, Malacia, and a centre back, that's abysmal. And if you're Cristiano Ronaldo, you're like, we're not in the Champions League, and you're bringing in a midfielder, a centre-back, and a left-back. That's your big rebuild. I mean, De Jong, Malacia, and Martinez arguably isn't better than losing Pogba, Lingard, Cavani, Mata, and Matic. I mean, I'd say marginally it is, but it's, it's not a great summer, is it? And it's certainly not a big spend, and it's certainly not a statement of intent. So you can also add that into the mixer for Ronaldo. He desperately wants to play in the Champions League, and he looks at United's spend and goes, this isn't ambition, this is just treading water. So it is a bit of a concern. Of course, Ronaldo, I've been saying this for weeks as well. I said I never had any information, I'm not going to pretend I did, but I always had a bad feeling that Ronaldo was going to go, and maybe he is. Do I believe Duncan Castles? He's been right in the past. Do I think he's been very quiet this summer? Do I think he's got the exclusive on this? I'd be surprised. But I personally think it will stir up something, because Cristiano Ronaldo is back in training on Monday. Ronaldo a year ago, when he was spoken about Real Madrid, came out with a public statement that it's not true. I would hope that Ronaldo is going to come out with a statement. Mark, I hope Ed Woodward didn't give Richard Arnold the infamous fax machine to do our transfers. We some of these transfers complete this week coming, says Amir Khan. Duncan Castles, like Michael Bublé, comes out his cave once a year and gets on everyone's nerves, says Joshua Bauer. You can't beat a bit of Bublé. Can't beat a bit of Bublé at Christmas. But yeah, so look, that is a breaking news story. I mean, it's not really what I wanted to talk about, but I don't believe it. At this moment in time, I don't believe it. I don't put Duncan. I've got respect for journalists, but this is coming from Duncan Castles, that Cristiano Ronaldo wants to leave. It's literally happened while we're live on air. I don't think it's worthy of changing the title of the show or the thumbnail at this point until somebody like a David Ornstein or a Romano or somebody close to the club puts that out there. But I don't think it's true at the moment. So let's get back onto the show. After the striking choice is diminished with Nunez, we must keep him for the season unless we can get a replacement. And that's a great point by Berkeley as well. We can't afford to lose Ronaldo. If every top 6 club show a will to reinforce mercilessly, then Manchester United don't. Can we really blame him for doubting a top 4 return this season, says Andreas. No, we can't. But look, let's bring it back to more positive times. I've not been live since yesterday morning. I've hardly had any sleep. I went to the cricket yesterday, checked my Instagram at Goldbridge Mark. I got a little bit drunk. I was out very late. Hello to everybody who met me and had a photo with me, by the way. I had a very good time, but my head is tired. But look, you know what? I was sat there on having drank numerous beers, and Malacia, I got the message, Malacia, here we go. And I went, bloody typical, get me another pint. I couldn't believe it. I was like, I've been waiting for I've wanted to do the first here we go of the transfer window, and I wasn't here. Hopefully I'll be here for all the other ones. But Malacia is a good signing. Anybody who predicted that was going to be the first signing, well done. What's Eriksen doing, by the way? What's Christian Eriksen doing? I heard Natalie Sawyer on Talk Sport today saying that Eriksen's been really disrespectful to Brentford by not announcing what he's done. I don't agree with that, you know. I really don't agree with that. And I agree with her having her opinion, and I thought it was a very interesting, if you've not watched it on TalkSport, it's a little clip on their YouTube channel from Natalie Sawyer, who's the presenter, saying that she thinks that Eriksen may have disrespected Brentford by not making his mind up. But I think he's actually respecting Brentford by not making his mind up, because Manchester United, one of the biggest clubs in the world, wants Christian Eriksen to come and be part of the new build under Erik ten Hag. And the fact that he hasn't gone yes straight away, a bit worrying for us, but I think it's showing respect to Brentford, because he's actually thinking it through and thinking, you know what, I'm happy at Brentford, I'm happy in London, they gave me the opportunity. He's going to be in a relegation battle next season, or he could be at Man United as part of something. So I actually think Eriksen taking his time is fine. Where I think he'll end up, I don't know, but that was my spin on it. Gary McDonough, thank you very much and welcome for the Members Club. United postponed the new kit release till July the 8th. This might be the date we announced De Jong. Vic, I think you're onto something there. If you want to become a member, by the way, click the join button. We've got a new video coming out exclusively for the members tomorrow about Lisandro Martinez, comparing him to our centre-backs. But our latest video that went up on yesterday morning, was Luke Shaw against Malacia. Really interesting. So if you are a member, please check it out, because we do them for you. If you want to be a member, click the join button. It's just extra content for people who support the channel. Thank you very much for that. What about Dybala, Marks, Ismail? Well, let me just get through some of the things I want to talk about. So obviously Lisandro Martinez has effectively said to Ajax, I want to leave, let me go. Arsenal are still in the race. Man United have offered 38 million. I think Arsenal have offered around that. Ajax wants about another 3 or 4 million. I think United will find a way. Arsenal may well push that price up. I mean, the only thing I would say about that is, what if Arsenal offer 42 million? Ajax will accept it. Man United have got to go with that. But I do think he'll end up at Manchester United. And the only thing I'd say about Lisandro Martinez is he is small, and I think that if this works, if Manchester United sign Lisandro Martinez and it works, this is going to be unique. Name me the last top centre-back in the Premier League that was under 5'10". It's a quiz question. Go and find the last top-class centre-back who played for a top 4 team who was under 5'10". Really unique centre-back. And Laurie Whitwell said this morning, and he's absolutely spot on, that Manchester United are buying Lisandro Martinez to play as a centre-back. I know people are doing polls about whether he's a centre-back or a CDM, but he would be a centre-back at Manchester United. So the reason Erik ten Hag wants him, and look, Timber's only an inch taller at 5'10", but the reason Erik ten Hag wants these types of centre-backs is because he wants to see what they are, basically. He wants to see what I mean by that is Maguire, Lindelof, Varane. He wants them to learn from Timber and Martinez. And I know that sounds still silly because Varane and Maguire and Lindelof are more experienced, but they don't know how to play the Ajax way. So what Ten Hag wants to do is he wants to get Martinez on the training ground next to Varane and say, look, this is what I do. This is what you do. You cover the right we play a high line, and this is really important to the way that Erik ten Hag wants to play. I feel like Ronaldo's story is just to put pressure on United to buy more players, says Carter, probably. Manchester United have got to do absolutely everything to keep Cristiano Ronaldo, by the way. I said this last week. This isn't breaking news. United have got to do absolutely everything. The reason Cristiano Ronaldo will walk out of Manchester United is because of this. I've said it so many times before, because that team is the same as last season apart from Frenkie de Jong. That is why Ronaldo will leave. The Glazers. Don't ever forget that Manchester United, if Ronaldo leaves, he's leaving because of the Glazers, and that is unacceptable. I will cry if we lose Ronaldo, because he in the dressing room is us in the dressing room, and if Ronaldo leaves, all those toxic twats who turned on him last season win. And that's not a good thing for United or Ten Hag. Malacia is going to pick out Ronaldo's head for goals all season, says Nathan. Welcome to the Members Club, Hiddle, and also get what we get this window, and I think next summer we'll get Nkunku, says Ray. So yeah, we've spoken about Lisandro Martinez. I expect to see some really big developments that over the next couple of days. We've got Malacia. Eriksen's going to announce what he's doing very, very soon. I wouldn't be surprised if that happens in the next sort of 24 hours, because he should be back training on Monday. And then, obviously, that takes us to Frenkie de Jong. Now, I'm quite relaxed about Frenkie de Jong, and I'll tell you for why. I was looking at the fixtures. Did you know that we are playing a game a week on Tuesday against Liverpool? Now, in that game, I don't expect many of the internationals to play anyway. But the following weekend, I think we play Melbourne Victory, and then we play Palace and Villa. They're the games where I expect de Jong to play. As long as de Jong is on the plane to Australia on Friday, which is the 8th, that's all I'm bothered about. And to be fair, many journalists have spoken about this. I'm long past de Jong, here we go. I mean, look at the people who said it was going to happen in the next 48 hours on Monday. I mean, they're notable by their absence. Oh, something changed. Well, it didn't happen in that. Don't you love it when people say it's going to happen in the next 48 hours and then it doesn't happen and they go, unforeseen changes, it was meant to happen in the next 48 hours. You can't say it's going to happen in the next 48 hours and then when it doesn't, something changed. Like, it either is or it isn't. And I think with de Jong, I don't know whether it's going to happen in 10 minutes or in 10 days. I don't know. But I'm convinced it will happen. And as long as he's on the plane for the Australia tour on the 8th, and you're quite right, we're going to release the new kit then that's all that matters. I think the days of guessing when this is going to happen and the urgency of the de Jong deal, United, for whatever reason, have done a Pogba, they've done a Harry Maguire, they've made a deal that was very exciting, drag out for a very long time. But as long as we get that deal done, I'm not really bothered now. We've had our first signing of the summer in Malacia. Surprised United haven't seriously looked at Gnabry. He's not only an explosive and exciting attacker, but also smart with the press, says Q-Dog. Yes, I think you're right, mate, but I don't think Gnabry wants to come and play in the Europa League. And I think his wages would be very, very big. Can't see the Glazers letting the last of the club's biggest shirt sellers go, says Ronald. And is there anything about a striker, Mark, or has that just been left to losing Nunez, says Jamie? Well, I was going to talk about that, Jamie. Welcome to Members Club Abernaf. Just a little bit of breaking news. I mean, I am live again at 8 o'clock tonight, so I'm not going to be live for ages tonight. I just thought I'm back. I'll do a little bit of an update on everything that's happened in the last 24 hours. Take a break and come on vacation in Thailand, says Lay. That sounds great. We have been linked to Gabriel Veron, who is a striker, plays for Palmeiras. I don't know much about him. I don't think anybody knows a lot about him unless they specialise in South American football. But he is a player that's been linked to us before. Apparently his fee is around 10 to 15 million. And he's a player that's going to be the next Ronaldo, R9 Ronaldo, like every Brazilian striker is going to be. I would be open to this deal. If we can buy players that are going to be the next big thing and they're well scouted, I'm all for it. It doesn't have to be Darwin Nunez or Erling Haaland for me. I just want this club to start acting in a mature, efficient and planned out way. And if they feel that this Gabriel Veron is the right sort of player for Manchester United to go for because Erik ten Hag wants him, let's go and get him. Remember, we have got the potential to really blow wide open our ability in the transfer window. And what I mean by that is, where did Ajax get Lisandro Martinez from? Where did they get Anthony from? Where did they get David Neres from? Where did they get Gravenberch from? Where did they get Timber from? Where did they get Daley Blind? Well, I know where they got Daley Blind from, but obviously some of those players will be youth players, but the honest answer is I don't know, because I don't know the complexities of Ajax's recruitment. But what I do know about Ajax's recruitment is they're bloody good at finding players and then making them players that go to other clubs for a lot of money. I.e., they're very good at finding talent and developing talent. So we've now got a manager that can do that. And whether he's going to start doing that from Brazil, from the youth setup, from Europe, this is what we need to see, because I'll tell you what, we don't do it very well. How many clubs really would give us 50 million for Scott McTominay? How many clubs would give us 100 million for Marcus Rashford? These are our best two youth products of the last however many years, and clubs wouldn't be queuing up for them. So we need to develop better. I think people like McTominay and Rashford have been let down by the managers actually over the last 6 years in relation to development. And this is something that Ten Hag can be good at. So I would like to see us start buying players like that, Gabriel Varane. But I don't know. At this moment in time, it's very early stages. Abanaf, welcome to Members Club. Dawson, welcome to Members Club. Thank you very much. And Mike as well. Thank you. GSD with the super chat as well. Mahrez, we've spoken about. Oh, I did just want to talk about this. This really gets my goat. We've spoken about Ronaldo. I'll come back to it in a minute, but it's only coming in from one source on Ronaldo at the moment, so I'm not going to get my knickers in a twist about this. I think Ronaldo is unsellable for Manchester United, and I think if they allow Ronaldo to leave, you know what? I will just say this. If Man United allow Ronaldo to leave, I've got to say there's something really concerning going on at United. Ralf Rangnick never should have been let go. Like, Ralf Rangnick is a builder of clubs who called out the issues at the club. Yes, as a coach, he wasn't very good, but everything he said about rebuilds, about toxicity, about what needs to be done, he was spot on, and the club got rid of him. For me, that was a bad decision, because you had somebody there who knows how to rebuild clubs, who called out everything publicly, and they sacked him for it. If Ronaldo is allowed to be sold, this is allowing Rangnick to go times 100. So Cristiano Ronaldo, who was the only player who really, as an outfield player, had a good season, who quite clearly told our underperforming players that they were a joke, gets sold. So basically, we get rid of Rangnick, who called out all the problems, and then we get rid of Ronaldo, who was calling out the problems in the dressing room. What does that leave us with? The problems. So it's really important that we keep him. Imagine City hijack De Jong with a swap Bernardo Silva and Adams, says Lay. I don't think that's going to happen, really, Lay. I really don't. But one other thing I just wanted to talk about as well is, I don't know whether you'd seen this, and I can't remember where it was coming from, but it was quite a credible source, so someone in the chat might know. Fulham have apparently inquired for Eric Bailly. Eric Bailly's back in training at the start of next week, doesn't want to leave. He wants to come back in training and give it another go. And I'm like, you know, why do we put the power in the players' hands? Like, somebody should have said to Eric Bailly, to be fair, you should have had more game time, but you didn't get more game time. We don't want to pick you anymore. We want to sell you. You're not playing next season, and actually, we don't even want you to come on tour. Same with Phil Jones. Same with a couple of other players. Like, this is what we need to do. We can't keep empowering players that clearly won't have a future at Manchester United by saying, yeah, you want to have another go, come back and have another go. I like Eric Bailly. I've championed Eric Bailly over the last 3 or 4 years, saying that he deserves to start ahead of Lindelof or Maguire or whoever it was. It's never happened. I actually am going to say, in relation to Erik ten Hag, he's got no future. And people will say, you're a hypocrite. You've said in the past that Bailly's better than Maguire and he's better than Lindelof. And I have. But that was with Ole Gunnar Solskjaer and Mourinho. And Ole Gunnar Solskjaer and Mourinho don't play with centre-backs that have got to cover the flanks and be good on the ball. And, you know, for the first time ever, Eric Bailly needs to be sold. I like him, but he does not suit the way Erik ten Hag wants to play. He's not the sort of centre-back. He's quick, but he's not the sort of centre-back that can play in a 2, covering the flanks and playing out from the back confidently. That's not Eric Bailly. He's not that player on the ball. So Eric Bailly can come back and work hard as he likes. He's never going to be the type of centre-back that Ten Hag wants. Therefore, Man United should be saying, you're up for sale, mate. I know you want to come back and work hard, but London's a lovely place to go and work hard. So, you know, we need to start doing this with some of our players that clearly don't have a future. I'm sure they want to come back and have a go, but, you know, proper management is being efficient and ruthless and saying, look, appreciate it, But look, I've made my decision. You're not going to be part of my plans. We wish you all the best. Let's sort you out a move. You'd give Rashford another chance, though, says Julian. Yeah, but Rashford's very different to Eric Bailly, isn't he? One's a striker and one's a centre-back. I've seen enough of Eric Bailly to know that he ain't the sort of centre-back that Erik ten Hag wants. You could make the same argument about Rashford, to be fair, but I think Rashford has got more chance of becoming a player for Erik ten Hag than Eric Bailly has. In my opinion, but you might have a different one. Unfortunately, Mark, this is what happens when we give fringe players massive wages. They are comfortably turning up earning hundreds of thousands of pounds, as Dasbo. Yeah. Look, too many of our fringe players, to put it politely, are comfortable at United on a good wage on big contracts. We need to make it uncomfortable so that they want to leave. Because at the end of the day, if somebody wakes up in the morning and they're tired and they're in a nice cosy bed and you say, get up, please, they're going to go, I'm going to have another 10 minutes in bed. If you tip a bucket of cold water on them, they're going to get up because that bed's not comfy anymore. It's cold, it's wet, and you need to get some clothes on and get dry. And that's what United need to do. They need to get that cold bucket of water, throw it onto these fringe players and get them up and get them out. I'm not, you know what, Nozza? I'm not actually convinced about what I said about Rashford. You're right. I've got no idea what's going to happen with Marcus Rashford. It's just an opinion. I would give Rashford another year. I've always said that. For me, Eric Bailly, Brandon Williams, Phil Jones, Aaron Wan-Bissaka, these are players I would be moving out. And you might say, well, you're wrong. Rashford should be there and, you know, Wan-Bissaka should be given another chance. That's your opinion. This is my opinion. And the great thing about these decisions is they're tough decisions. I'm not saying they're right decisions, but they're tough decisions. And your decisions might be different to my tough decisions, but they're still tough decisions. The problem with United is they don't make any tough decisions. And you're making different tough decisions to me, but at least we're making those decisions. United don't do them at all. And that's what we really do need to do. Unfortunately, Mark, I've done that one from Dasbo. Is Ronaldo leaving, Mark, says Michael. So in relation to Cristiano Ronaldo, there is a story that's come out from Duncan Castles saying that Cristiano Ronaldo wants to leave Manchester United. We are not getting it from anywhere else. So I think that until we get it from somewhere else, I'm not really that bothered. But Manchester United have got to convince Cristiano Ronaldo to stay. I know he probably doesn't like what happened last season. He probably wants to play in the Champions League, but he's a Man United player for 2 years. If he thinks he can play at the top level for 4 more years, what's 1 more year at Man United? I would give him the captaincy, I would give him the pep talk, and I would get him to stay at Manchester United. It's as simple as that. So I refuse to believe that we're going to sell Ronaldo because I think that would be disgusting. And I will blame the club 100% if they sell Ronaldo. What was the point in bringing him back if you're going to sell him after 1 year because you failed? Like, you've got to keep Ronaldo. It's so important. European lad says, looks like Ajax are open to selling Martinez, but I just hope the club sticks to wanting 50 million guaranteed and nothing less, which they also told Arsenal. Okay, no compromising. Well, we'll see. We'll see. We'll see what happens with that. But look, I just wanted to go live and have a little bit of an update, really, just to let everybody know that I'm back, and also to let you know that what's going on with all the latest news. We will be back at 8 o'clock as always, and I'm sure we'll have some more news for you by then. But also, I wanted to I just wanted to react to Here We Go. I know I did a little video yesterday, but I just wanted to react to Here We Go. I am not going to entertain anybody having a pop at Ronaldo, by the way. I think it's absolutely understandable why he might want to leave. I think it's absolutely imperative that Manchester United keep him. So, you know, let's make sure that we do keep him. Let's make sure that we do. Right, let's see what happens over the next couple of hours. Make sure you smash a like on the video and subscribe, bottom right hand corner. And Daniel says, the word from United was always we expect Ronaldo to stay, and Castles also said he could return to Italy, which I'm not sure about. There we go. We're back at 8 o'clock. Thanks, everyone. Please subscribe, smash a like. Welcome to the new members. If you are a member, please do check out the Malacia versus Shaw stats video we put up exclusively for you. If you want to join, check it out. But really good video. I'm going to be doing a Lisandro Martinez one soon. And also, we've got a big announcement for the members coming up probably tomorrow as well, which I'm really excited about. So